Hi all, and welcome to my channel, Friend Makes Things, and our monthly Mary Maxim review video for you. We are in September 26th, I believe, that this video is going live, but this kit is for the August kit. It arrived at the very end of August, and giving myself 3 weeks to work on it. Here we are towards the end of September talking about it. Junior just couldn't not be in this video. So we'll leave him for a minute, and then when it comes to talking about stuff, he'll be moved. But yeah, this video is going to be in 4 parts. Part 1 is talking who is Mary Maxim, what is the Crochet Club of the month, and what came in this month's box. Part 2 is looking at the project itself. Part 3 is pros, cons, and user error. And then part 4 is going to be final thoughts and sign off. Before we get started, I do want to say hello to everybody. Hello to the new subscribers, the OGs, anyone in between. Hello to the people who are curious about Mary Maxim or curious about this company here that we're going to be talking about, John Bead. I have some thoughts on them, but hello to everyone who is watching this video. You are also very welcome, and your comments, hopefully kind, are always so appreciated down in the comment section. So I don't have any real preamble to talk about other than that. So let's just get into part 1. Who is Mary Maxim? What is the Crochet Club of the month? And what came in this month's kit? So Mary Maxim is a long-standing yarn crafts company. They do crochet and knit and craft kits and a whole bunch of things over on their website. They have headquarters in both the US and Canada, which I think is pretty cool. So hopefully the world things are not affecting them too much. But yeah, they offer like an online website with yarn and yarn accessories and some crafting things and some puzzles and some other fun stuff. And on that, they have subscription boxes, subscription kits as well. There's a couple of different ones. They've got like Afghan and knit and I think socks too or something. But today we are talking about their Crochet Club of the month. In that you get for $18.99, I believe, pricing is on the screen, but I believe it's $18.99 and then $4.99 for shipping. You get a monthly project that includes the pattern, the yarn to make the pattern, and then sometimes some bonus goodies as well. The kit does come on a monthly basis, like you get charged on the 10th of the month, and then hopefully it arrives sometime before the end of the month. I am filming this September 25th, and I still have not received confirmation that my package is out to be delivered or has been shipped or anything. And when I click on the Mary Maxim website, my order from the 10th still says that it has not been fulfilled. So who knows when we're gonna see that the next project come out. But we've been getting this box for quite a while now. We've had a range of different things, a range of different yarns. So it's been kind of cool, kind of messing around with it. And now it is time to move little baby cat to show you what came in this month's kit. So this month we had a dedicated kit from a dedicated company, John Bead. This is the packaging for it, and of course this is the project. Now what I'm used to seeing with Mary Maxim are kits like this. This is last month's kit. Right, this is some leftover yarn. This is 2 skeins I haven't even touched. And like a printed pattern that walks you through like what you're making. And every single month it's been like this. You've got your yarn, your kit or your pattern, and your kind of like your project bag. This month was different. This month they sent us a kit from somebody else. This is by John Bead, and it is their sunflower tote bag. Here's the package, here's the box that it came in, and this is what we have left. So we have printed instructions that I'm pretty sure that Mary Maxim printed and not John Bead. But we've got the instructions here. And then on the back as well, it's basically 13 granny squares sewn together with edging and handles. We got a what was this? I think it's a 3mm hook. It's a nice hook. I like this hook. We have a cat. I know, it's like box. Like, how dare I? We received this little instruction, and they give you a QR code that takes you to an online video tutorial. And suddenly I don't remember if they gave us direction to the instructions. I'm gonna click the link and let you know whether or not the instructions are included, or if these are the only instructions. Now I'm not so sure, but anyway, we also had 5 stitch markers, and I brought 3 different types of the same stitch marker, or 3 different companies of the same stitch marker, to kind of show you what's going on. Like, who knew there was such variation? But these are the stitch markers that came in this. We got 5 of them in different colors. They are a very thin plastic with a very like pointy end to them. To compare, these are the stitch markers that I've had for forever. I got them when I was living in France. Before I even crocheted, I was using them for something else. But these I got from Sostrina Grena, I don't know, a while ago. But this is like a fine one too, but the point is a lot softer and the plastic is a lot stronger. And then this is the most recent version of these that I got. Oh wait, sorry. This one's from Sostrina and Grena. Same comments though. The plastic feels nicer, right? It's a bit smoother and it's a bit thicker. And then this one here is from Hobby, and I just got these a couple of weeks ago, and these are thicker. They're kind of harder to manipulate, but comparing the 3 of them, these ones definitely feel like they're cheaper. They're gonna do the job just fine, but they are a little bit more pokey, and the plastic feels quite a bit more flimsy. Like, you can see that when you compare it to the Sostrin one, and then the Sostrina one, and then the Hobby one. So just, I don't know, for those who are curious. And then this is what yarn I have left. We got 5 different colors. I have quite a bit of this golden color left. That was for the sunflowers. Like a weird amount of extra for the sunflowers. This is how they came to me, in like these kind of just bally messes. I have this much green left. I had 2 skeins of green in here, and this is how much of that I had left. I had 3 skeins of white. This is how much of that I have left. I had like half a skein or something of this brown. And then I don't remember how much of this beige. I'll go back and look at the photos, but I'm guessing like a skein and a half. And this is all that I have left. So I was kind of positing that maybe they did this kit by weight, and that is why we had such weird numbers and weird setups. But I don't know how they did this kit. As you can see, there's a lot of this golden color. An amount that I would expect proper for these 3 colors, and like a weirdly like limited amount of these, and then the hook. So yeah, that is what came in the box. Let's get into part 2, talking about the project itself. I don't know if I need that. Keep it handy. So here we are, part 2, the project itself. I need, as always, I need to probably block this to get it to sit nicer. Here's my one side. Here's my second side. Right, you can see the different panels. I like the shape. I like this curving at the bottom here of it. I think it looks really quite pretty. I really like that shape. It's like a V top, right? And then it has handles that I also need to block and flatten and get to look quite pretty. Here's the other side, same idea. Nothing should be different. Handles, and then the interior is just like this. Again, I wish it were lined. I always wish these bags were lined. But at least with this one, the granny squares are on like slightly on the tighter side. You still could lose stuff, right? It's still really open. But there's your interior for you. Yeah, so some interesting features on this. I learned a few new stitches with it. They wanted you to do some interesting stitching with the leaves where you did like a top edge kind of stitch, which I'd never done before. So basically you were working like 2 yarns. You have like your bottom yarn and then you have like your top yarn. So you would do like your first loop of your double stitch, your first loop of your double, like you're doing a double crochet stitch. And your first section of your double crochet is white, and then your second loop is green. Here's a photo or a video. Here's something that I'll work up really quickly to kind of show you what I'm talking about. It's a really interesting way of doing like a very fine kind of line to make your leaves kind of stand out more. And it was interesting to work with. It took me a minute to get the hang of it, but once I did, it came together quite nicely. So how this granny square came together really was a magic circle of double crochets, then some cluster stitches that they had you do kind of differently, then another round, or not cluster, puff stitches, and then another round of puff stitches, and then you kind of started doing like your white and green alternating white and greens kind of thing to create the leaves. The top is just, or like the edging is just some double crochets, and then they had me do a reverse single. Okay, let's start that over again. Your banding is single crochets, and then you have a reverse single crochet to create like this rounded edge. So they called it a reverse single crochet or a crab stitch, and it came out to kind of looking like this. So it has like a really, really nice finished edge. But all of the stitches are pretty straightforward. Like there was something new with that, like with your edging pieces or with your leaf pieces. And there is something new with your crab stitches. So yeah, size wise, it is 12 inches by 13 inches or so. And they said that it should make, oh, okay, so the directions are in centimeters. So it's about 31 centimeters wide by about 34 centimeters long, and they said 33 by 35. So with blocking, it should come out to be the sizing that it should be, which is kind of cool. So let's get into part 3, pros, cons, and user error. Pro, I'm learning new stitches. I'm learning different granny squares. I like the design of this bag. I like the shape of this bag. I like the colors that they used in it. Like, there was a lot of thought into the design itself. I like a lot about it. I like the reverse single crochet up on here. I think it gives like a really pretty finished edge to everything, and it creates like a really kind of soft textured edge as well, which I really like. I think I said I like the size of this bag. Like, I like so much about it. I like the general idea about this bag. I think it turned out so cute. I think it turned out so cool. And I kind of like the steps in creating it and making it look like a well thought out creative bag. Cons. I don't like this kit. I don't like this kit. I don't like these instructions. The tutorial is a pretty decent tutorial as far as it goes. It's an hour and a half long, and I was impatient, so I kind of skipped around in it. But I don't like these instructions. They are confusing. They are vague. They made me go to the crochet tutorial just to understand what is going on. And for an example, when you're doing round 2, so you're making like your light kind of interior section here, right before you get to your leaves, they say chain 2 counts as first unfinished double crochet of a puff stitch. In each stitch, work a puff stitch with 2 unfinished double crochets. What is a 2 unfinished double crochet? It could be a terminology that I'm just not aware of, that I'm not used to seeing. I was very confused. I took to the internet to see what they were talking about, like a unfinished double crochet puff stitch. Made no sense to me. The internet was not helpful. When I clicked on the tutorial, what it really meant was it was a puff stitch that instead of pulling up 7 loops, you pull up 5 loops, right? So you, like, in crochet wise, you yarn over, right? Go through, pull up a however that terminology goes, you end up going through that 2 times instead of 3 times, right? 3 times is a traditional puff stitch, right? You get 7, you end up getting 7 loops on your hook, and then you pull through all 7 loops and you have like a dedicated puff stitch. But what they were just meaning is like instead of 7 loops, they did 5 loops. So I didn't like how unclear that was, and it could just be me not understanding. But I've read a couple of different crochet peoples now. Like, I've followed like a couple of different people who've written different crochet patterns, and I've never come across something called an unfinished double crochet. It was confusing and I didn't like it. And then when they got onto like your traditional puff stitch, which was your yellow, same idea. They called it 3 a puff stitch with 3 unfinished double crochet. Like, why couldn't they just say like with 7 loops on your hook or whatever, right? Like, it wasn't standard and it didn't make any sense to me. Then when it came to assembling them, they had us do different places for that edging that we talked about, and they didn't tell us how we were going to have the edging kind of come together. So they had us make one panel for the bottom that had right, because it kind of tied everything together. So we had one bottom panel. We had 11 or, well, we had 12 other panels. 8 panels were all the same as these here, the center section, and then 4 panels were these ones here where there was no green on the top. That was clear. But then when we got into connecting the panel, it doesn't really give you a great like information on how they want you to orient your panel pieces. Like, they want you to just always remember like which corner is like your third corner, so you have to really like hold in your mind how your panels kind of came together. And as I kind of was making these, I kind of went off on my own and did my own thing. They also talk about things having turning chains. They have talk about how like your panel, like your granny squares are supposed to set up. I did that with the first one, but they never tell us to turn our work. They just tell us about turning chains. And I know in some granny squares you turn your work, but in other ones you don't. And so for the first one of these, I did turn my work and I didn't like how it came out in the end. So then after that, I just started working right in the round as with a granny square. And I modified how they had us do this to make all of these kind of work out and fit properly. So this is, I would say this is not a beginner project because I had to do a lot of fussing around and making things up as I went along. The tutorial itself kind of walks you through how to make all of these things. So if you are new, the tutorial does help. It does walk you through creating the stitches, working the stitches. And I don't think they turn their work in the tutorial either. But like I said, I kind of skipped around on it. So I could be wrong in that regard. Yeah, I just didn't like it. I didn't like... and then they just say, like, for the straps too, they tell us like reverse or backwards single crochet, but they don't tell us how to do that either. Like, they don't give us how to make anything with it. It's all embedded in their tutorial video. Yeah, so this pattern just makes a lot of assumptions about whether or not you know how to crochet already and how to work with the project already, and I'm not a big fan of that, and I just didn't like it. I like how the bag looks, but I did not like the pattern in itself. I also don't like how the box came to me. It was very messy. I forgot to mention that I'll link the unboxing video for you, but here it is linked in the upper right hand corner for you. But I didn't like how I didn't like how the box came. I didn't like that the yarn was unlabeled. Like, we don't know how much of each there is. We don't know anything like that. We also, when we got this, all of this here is for candles and not for crochet. So like, that's a big misprint. This here, right, this is what comes in the box, but they don't tell us how much of anything that we have. They don't tell us the fiber content of the yarn that we're using. It feels very much like an acrylic, and it's not a terrible yarn by any means. like, it's not a terrible yarn by any means, but it splits a lot, and it splits as you're working with it. So if you look in here, there's some splits, there's some, we'll move Junior. Like, there's some splits, there's some messes there, like it's not really a super clean look, especially doing these puff stitches and stuff like that. It split like a lot. It doesn't mess with the integrity of the bag, but I really focused on this reverse crochet to make sure that I wasn't splitting anything, because like you want a really clean looking loop. And I'm pretty sure there's some spots on here where you can kind of see that it's not as clean as I would like it to be. But now that I'm talking about it, of course, I can't find any of those spots. But yeah, I don't like the, I don't mind the yarn, but it's not the best yarn. Like here, you can kind of see, right, the little pieces, and I didn't catch these until I was too far into it to go back and fix it. But yeah, the other thing too is I don't like the single row of yellow on the sunflower. We have enough yarn that we could easily have done a second row on the sunflower, and making it like a bit more substantial, right? Like, I don't like that the brown, the light brown, and then the golden color, the saffron color, or what have you, all ends up being the same size. Like, I would have liked the sunflowers to be more substantial. And I kept looking back at the pictures to see, and like they only have like a single row of stitches too, and the instructions also just have like a single row of stitches. So it's not like I was messing it up, it's just the intention of the pattern. But then looking at the amount of yarn that I have, I would assume that there should be a double row of sunflower petals. And I think that's it. So user error. Well, there's some trial and error stuff, right? You can kind of see some of the white coming through some of the green as I was pulling the yarn along. That's a me thing, right? That's a me not used to these stitches kinds of things. In different subsequent yarns or sections, you can kind of see which might be older, which might be newer kinds of flowers because of that. They wanted us to do like those cluster stitches, and I did, or those puff stitches, and on some of these flowers, this like light brown sandy kind of color, are double crochet clusters instead. So like this is a puff stitch, but if of course now that I want to find one. I want to say that this might be a double crochet cluster, but I'm not sure. Anyway, some of them are some double crochet clusters, and some of them are puff stitches in the center, but like you can't really tell, I don't think. Also, I could have paid better attention to placement on how I was sewing the panels together to make the leaves pieces make better sense. I think some of them are probably not in the correct spot. Like that one here definitely is missing its connecting piece, but I think overall it looks good. Overall, again, it holds, everything is in place, everything is woven in nice and clean. Well, not clean on the inside. There's some knots and stuff that I just kind of cheated with, but the inside looks pretty good. Yeah, see, that's a double crochet cluster, and then this is a puff stitch. And I kind of honestly like the double crochet cluster better. But yeah, that's this bag. I am gonna probably try to sew in a lining on here to protect it from getting too stretched out. I am gonna block it as well. And now I have like another tote bag. We've been making a lot of tote bags lately. So yeah, there you have it. You can kind of see how I was learning how to do some of these edging pieces too in some of these sections. But yeah, let's get into part 4, final thoughts. Sign off. Overall, it came together quite nicely. It is a functional, nice looking bag. I will definitely revisit this sunflower flower idea in the future. I think it's very, very cute. I will also probably do more of this reverse single crochet because I really like how it finishes off the edge of the bag. I also like how it kind of scoops in. I don't know if the original photo does that. It does not, but mine scoops in, and I kind of like the look of that too. Like, I like the look of this bag. I liked making, I shouldn't say that. I liked figuring out how to make the panels, and I like how they all come together. It is not my favorite Mary Maxim project. Next to the socks and maybe the knitted hat or knitted cap, the beanie toque thing that we made, this is down there in priority just because I did not like this kit. I did not like this company. I did not like this kit. So yeah, I don't know how to break that down anymore. Still, $20 isn't bad for like a finished project with random yarn to spare. So yeah, what do you know? Do you like this project? Did you like how it came together? Have you bought anything from this John Bead company before? It's new to me, but somewhere along the line I saw that they had just like started to partner with a factory in China or something, or a creator in China, to start producing these kits and bringing them over. So I don't know if that's part of what's going on. I don't know how it ended up in a Mary Maxim Crochet Club box when everything else has been Mary Maxim and not some other company, but there you have it. But anyway, getting back to my questions. Do you like this project? Have you done any of these John Bead things before? Have you tried out their candle kits? Because it seems like they at least have candle kits from before. Any and all thoughts are welcome down in the comment section. What do we have coming up? I don't know what Monday's video is going to be. Wednesday's video, actually I might swap them out because I have Wednesday's project already finished. So I might do Monday or Wednesday is going to be a sewing table runner project that I've been working on for a while. So I want to share that with you. The other day, I don't know what it's going to be. Friday is going to be our hooks and needles final box review video for you. I have a poll going over up on my community page asking if you want to see that final unboxing, but so far 100% of respondents have said yes, they do. So yeah, there's that. Subscribe if you want to see what else is coming up in the future. I have quite a few sewing projects planned. I have a quilt update planned. I have a couple of unboxings planned, and then of course just talking about crochet in general planned as well. So if any of that interests you, think about subscribing. Like the video if you've made it to the end, if you like this bag, if you like Mary Maxim or my channel or what have you. Likes seem to help the algorithm. And yeah, with all of that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching. and I will talk with you again